Now, the greatest radio shows of all time.
Suspense.
The Shadow Node.
Washington calling David Harding, Counter Spy.
Classic radio theater.
The Great Gildersleeve.
Fibber McGee and Molly.
Dragnet. Gunsmoke.
The Lone Ranger.
Now, step back into a time machine with your host, Wyatt Cox.
Good evening, friends of the Inner Sanctum.
We close out this week of Classic Radio Theater heading out west for an episode of Fort-Laramie starring Raymond Burr from 66 years ago, March 18th, 1956, the story of the Beasley Girls. And we thank you for joining us on this Friday, 18th day of March, the 77th day of the year, 288 days remaining until we get to 2023. It was on this date in 1314 that Jacques de Molay, the 23rd and last Grand Master of the Knights Templar, burned at the stake. John Berkeley, the first Baron Berkeley of Stratton, sold his part of New Jersey in 1673 to some friends, better known as the Quakers. In 1776, the British Parliament repealed the Stamp Act, which was very unpopular in the British colonies. In 1850, American Express, founded by Henry Wells and William Fargo. You know about their bank, Wells Fargo. The Congress of the Confederate States of America adjourned for the last time in 1865, and in 1874, Hawaii signed a treaty with the U.S. granting exclusive trading rights. In 1893, former Governor General Lord Stanley pledged to donate a Silver Challenge Cup, which would later be named after him, as an award for the best ice hockey team in Canada. It was originally presented to amateur champions. The Stanley Cup has been awarded to the top pro team since 1910, and since 1926 only to National Hockey League teams. The pledge on this date in 1893. Einar Dessau used a shortwave radio transmitter on this date in 1909, becoming the first radio broadcaster. In India, Mohandas Gandhi sentenced to prison on this date in 1922, 6 years for civil disobedience, but he would serve only 2 years. Mexico nationalized all foreign-owned oil properties within its border on this date in 1938. And in 1940, Adolf Hitler, Benito Mussolini met at Brenner Pass in the Alps, agreed to form an alliance against France and the United Kingdom. In 1944, the eruption of Mount Vesuvius killed 26, caused thousands to flee their homes in Italy. An earthquake hit western Turkey on this date in 1953, 250 killed. President Eisenhower signed a bill into law on this date in 1959, allowing Hawaiian statehood. I'm trying to say something different and it doesn't come out. Hawaiian statehood, which would become official on August 21st. Hawaii would become state number 50. He's an icon now, but he was freshly introduced on this date in 1961, the Pillsbury Doughboy.
Don't forget home baked at your house. Bake Pillsbury.
The Doughboy, properly named Poppin' Fresh, was originally a product of stop-action clay animation, but is now created via CGI. The first astronaut to walk in space did so on this date in 1965, as we hear from Radio Moscow.
This is Radio Moscow. Here is the latest news about the Soviet space flight now in progress. At 11:30 this morning, Moscow time, one of the Soviet spacemen left the spaceship in outer space.
Cosmonaut Alexei Leonov leaving his spacecraft Voskhod that's Voskhod 2 for 12 minutes, becoming the first person to walk in space. Congress repealed the requirement for a gold reserve to back U.S. currency on this date in 1968. In 1974, most OPEC nations ended a 5-month oil embargo against the U.S., Europe, and Japan. In the largest art theft in U.S. history, 12 paintings, collectively worth around $300 million, stolen on this date in 1990 from the Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum in Boston. In 2002, more than 89 persons in over 20 states charged in the first phase of a nationwide crackdown on the proliferation of child pornography via the Internet.
Our investigation uncovered an estimated 7,000 members, including some 2,400 outside our borders, using email and the Candyman website to post, download, and share pornographic images of children.
Attorney General John Ashcroft, who said individuals identified as subjects in Operation Candyman included Little League coaches, a teacher's aide, a guidance counselor, a school bus driver, foster care parent, and professionals in the medical, educational, military, and law enforcement fields. It was on this date in 2003 that the U.S. entered war in Iraq. About $1 billion taken from Iraq's central bank by Saddam Hussein and his family just hours before the U.S. began bombing Iraq, the biggest bank robbery in history. 1 year later, on this date in 2004, the president would thank the troops.
In 1 year's time, Saddam Hussein has gone from a palace to a bunker to a spider hole to jail.
President George W. Bush addressing the troops in Fort Campbell, Kentucky on March 18, 2004. FBI agents raided the corporate headquarters of Health South in Birmingham, Alabama on this date in 2003 on suspicion of massive corporate fraud led by the company's top executives. Democratic presidential candidate Barack Obama confronted America's racial divide on this speech in 2008 with a speech in Philadelphia. It was prompted by incendiary racial remarks made by Obama's African-American pastor, the Reverend Jeremiah Wright. Among those passing on this date in history include John Phillips of the Mamas and the Papas, British computer pioneer Adam Osborne, journalist Bill Buell, Fess Parker, best remembered for his many Western roles, and including Chuck Berry, the fine singer-songwriter, and Apollo 15 command module pilot Alfred Worden. This is the birth date of Vice President John C. Calhoun, Vice President number 7, President Grover Cleveland, composer Nikolai Rimsky-Korsakov, yes, he was from Russia, Prime Minister of the UK Neville Chamberlain, actor Edward Everett Horton, Ernest Gallio, the winemaker, also Smiley Burnett, motorsports entrepreneur Andy Granatelli, actor Peter Graves, writer-actor George Plimpton, Charlie Pride, who passed away in 2020 at the age of 82, but this was his birthday, also Wilson Pickett, Kevin Dobson from Knots Landing, who also passed away in 2022. The woman who sang about Flashdance and Fame, Irene Cara, 63 years of age today, TV host Mike Rowe from Dirty Jobs, and still talks about how you can make a good paycheck today and not have to have a college degree. Mike Rowe, 60 years of age. The beauty queen, actress, singer Vanessa L. Williams, 59. Queen Latifah, 52. Comedian Dane Cook, 50 years old. From Maroon 5 and one of the judges on The Voice, Adam Levine is 43. Ethan Carter III, who was totally bungled. I mean, the way they handled him in WWE was horrible. And considering that he was such a significant part of Impact Wrestling, he was a part of Ring of Honor, and now has his own promotion called Control Your Narrative. Ethan Carter III, 39. The daughter of Phil Collins, actress, and behind the scenes and behind the camera as well, Lily Collins, 33 years old. From Swing Vote and The Spy Next Door, Madeline Carroll, 26. And from Big Time Rush and Red Band Society, Ciara Bravo is 25. Those just a few of the people who celebrate the 18th day of March as their birthday. If this is your birthday...
Hi, we're the 4 freshmen, and we just want to say... Happy birthday to you!
And from 66 years ago today, March 18th, 1956, Raymond Burr, starring in Fort Laramie. I'm Wyatt Cox. Thank you so much for tuning in to Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox on this Friday, here on your favorite station.
Are you suffering with arthritis or osteoporosis? Do you have diabetes? Did you know that these are just two of the hundreds of diseases that have seen improvement with Dr. Wallach's incredible longevity products? You can't get them at a health food store. The only way to get them is to call us at 800-214-0065. That's 800-214-0065. Do you have heart disease, fibromyalgia, or high blood pressure? Do you have a terrible time losing weight? Dr. Wallach can help. He was a veterinarian and cured diseases in animals. He felt that he could do the same for humans, so he became a physician. Over 50 years of research and helping people like you goes into every bottle of Dr. Wallach's amazing discoveries. Do you want to feel better? Learn how to treat the cause of your problem rather than covering up the symptoms with drugs. Call 800-214-0065. That's 800-214-0065.
Just think, if it hadn't been for the role of Perry Mason coming along, we might have had more seasons, at least one more season of this program you're going to hear today, which is Fort Laramie, starring Raymond Burr. Burr said in interviews the role of Captain Lee Quince was one that he really enjoyed. The problem was, being Perry Mason, he had zero time to record the show. He joked that maybe they could install a tape recorder in his car and he could record his lines there on his way to and from the studio to do Perry Mason, but that was about it. Sadly, Perry Mason and television's gain was radio's lost. Raymond Burr, Fort Laramie, from 66 years ago, March 18th, 1956, here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox.
At the gallop, ho!
Fort Laramie.
Fort Laramie, starring Raymond Burr as Captain Lee Quince. Specially transcribed tales of the dark and tragic ground of the wild frontier. The saga of fighting men who rode the rim of empire. And the dramatic story of Lee Quince, Captain of Cavalry.
You alive, Harrison?
No, sir, he ain't.
Move him back with the others.
In the name of heaven, Captain, how could he be alive? Look at him.
Move him back, Harrison. Lieutenant Syberts is directing the grave detail. Now give him a hand.
We gonna bury them all?
It's the least we can do.
I can't do it, Captain Quince. I can't. I'm all hot and cold in my belly. I just can't look at any more of this.
You get a firm grip on that belly of yours, Harrison. This kind of cleanup's got to be done. Now, don't look, don't think, just do your work.
Yes, sir. Yes, I'll do that.
I'm on my fifth, Captain.
All right, Hook.
Two of them was old ladies. I figured they was too old for travel anyways.
See, those graves are cairned.
Lieutenant's seeing to that, Captain. All I gotta do is dig them. Count 12 wagons burning. Them engines don't leave nothing to chance.
No, not much.
They shoot them full of arrows, full of lead, then hack them up. For good measure, they set fire to them.
Better get back to work, Hook.
Yeah. You're a sight safer in the army than in one of them wagon trains, ain't you, Captain?
Sometimes, Hook. Sometimes.
Captain Quince.
Yeah?
Maybe you ought to speak to the lieutenant.
How's that?
He's fair carried away with all this burying stuff. I declare he'll be laying the dead stock to rest next, so as he can speak words over them.
That all, Hook?
Well, you ought to take a look, Captain. I think it's real touching.
Thinking's not any part of you, Hook, any more than feeling is. I don't want to see that spade of yours stop the next 2 hours.
Yes, sir.
Captain Quince, over here.
This one's still alive.
He conscious?
I just come on him. I heard him.
Mister?
Sioux. Hundreds of Sioux.
Must have raided from the south, Hazen. If it was so.
I gave the Major that report. They've been building up to something for months now.
Mister, how many people in your train, mister? We counted 12 wagons.
We had 52. And they took...
Only 50 bodies, Captain. Lieutenant Cybers and I just took count.
You sure, Hazen?
No.
Yes, sir. 49 dead in this one.
No. Beasley. It took the Beasley Girls. It took...
Make that 50 dead, Hazen.
Yeah. You going after him?
With 20 men? No, we'll be another couple of hours here, and it'll still take us 3 more to get back to the fort.
Them girls, that's... Well, dying's easier.
You telling me something I don't know, Hazen? Yeah, I'll go after him when I stand a chance of getting him. Meantime, you pick up the trail.
Yes, sir. I ought to come on the Sioux camp before night. If I do, I'll make it back to the fort by daylight.
I'm going after him at sunup, whether you're back or not.
Suppose you had the company with you, then what?
We'd have finished our burying a little earlier, Major.
That's all?
That's all.
Captain, I have to make a report to Washington. I'd like to make it look as if the Army meant something out here. So far, I can tell them that a patrol of 20 men arrived in time to bury the members of an entire wagon train.
Would it make your report read any better if you told them a whole company arrived in time to bury them, Major?
I'm not interested in your impertinence, Captain.
I'm not interested in your report, sir.
All right. Look, I know you don't think much of paperwork, Lee. Reports to Washington, all this. But the point is, it all has to be done, whether you like it or not.
My point is, we'd have been just as late with 80 men as we were with 20. You'd still have to report 50 dead and 2 missing.
I don't like to think about those young women.
Somebody better think about them.
You've seen what... Well, you know the savagery they're bound to endure. How soon can you leave, Captain?
At dawn, whether Hazen's back or not.
You sent him on ahead?
He's been scouting the Sioux territory for the last few months. If they've gone back south, we'll find them.
I suppose you'll want the company this time.
I'd want more than one company if I intended to go after him.
There's only one company available, Captain.
Major, I'd like to bargain with them.
Bargain? After a massacre like this?
Yes, sir. If we don't have the men to fight it out with them.
What kind of bargain?
Big elk. Big elk for the young women.
I don't know. He wasn't easily captured, Quince.
I know. I brought him in.
Well, he's not doing us much good lying around the stockade. I suppose the Sioux consider him valuable enough to trade for him.
He's a chief.
What if Hazen isn't back by morning? If you expect to find those young women alive, you can't wait much longer.
We may pick Hazen up on the trail, but Big Elk can lead us to the camp.
Yeah, but will he?
To get out of the stockade? Yeah, he'll lead us. You'll understand he's not free till he does.
You better talk to him, Quince. Report back to me tonight.
I'd like to leave at sunup, sir.
If we're satisfied that Big Elk's our best chance, you'll pass the head of your column through the main gates half an hour before Reveille tomorrow morning.
Right, sir.
No good. You try to kill me, no. Leave him be, Hook. He's nothing to you.
I just give him a drink. He asked for one, didn't he? Some firewater, hey?
No good wolf. You men be better off in your bunks.
Try kill me.
I will. I get the chance.
Something on your mind, Hook?
He's just tormenting him, Captain. Big Elk asked for a drink. Hook here gave him some Bill's water. But it wouldn't have killed him.
He just made him good and sick like he makes me.
You're to leave him alone, Hook.
Hey, let them white women alone, Captain. Not one of them Indians is leaving them be.
You're all hard, aren't you, Hook? Now get back to your quarters, all of you. We're going after the women before Reveille.
Tattoo ain't sounded yet, Captain.
What did you say, Trooper?
Nothing, sir. Come on.
Here you are. Here, you can drink this, Big Elk.
White man no friend. Try kill me.
I could have killed you 2 months ago. I brought you here instead. Now go on, drink it. It's from my own canteen.
Good water. Good water. Put out fire in belly.
Your people still hold big camp on Lodgepole Creek?
Big Elk no see people many moon. But brother white man only. White man no brother Big Elk.
The hunting's still good along Lodgepole. Good grass, good water. Why would they move camp?
Not know.
From March 18th, 1956, Raymond Burr at Fort Laramie on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. The messages from your favorite station next, and then the news from 66 years ago today.
No offense, but are you a little fat when you look in the mirror? How would you like to learn the secrets to lose 3 to 5 pounds a week easily without joining the gym or going through any crazy diets? It's called Body Sculpt by Med Diet. For the last 2 decades, we've been helping people just like you that have pounds they want to shed. We've helped millions of people lose thousands and thousands of pounds over the years. And now it's your turn. Learn the secrets of how to lose weight with one simple phone call. You'll see an amazing difference in a matter of days. Don't believe us? We'll offer you a money-back guarantee. If you're ready to start losing weight right now, call right now to learn more about your risk-free order to Body Sculpt.
Call for your risk-free offer. 800-738-5332. 800-738-5332. 800-738-5332. That's 800-738-5332.
Thanks for tuning in to Classic Radio Theater on your favorite station. We're listening to an episode of Fort Laramie starring Raymond Burr as it was broadcast Sunday afternoon, March 18th, 1956. In the newspapers of that Sunday 66 years ago, these were some of the headlines. Senator Styles Bridges, the Republican in New Hampshire, declared yesterday the Senate Special Influence Probe may investigate lobbying by Agriculture Secretary Ezra Taft Benson in behalf of the administration's farm bill. He said the fact that Benson's representatives were all around the Capitol lobbying senators was typical of the influencing the special group would want to look into. Bridges, a member of the 8-man select committee headed by Senator John L. McClellan, the Democrat of Arkansas, the guest on CBS's Face the Nation. The Soviet Union's most dramatic program of mass re-education is underway, the smashing of the legend that built up Joseph Stalin in his lifetime to the proportions of a heroic demagogue. Travelers reaching Moscow from points as far away as Murmansk in the Arctic to Tashkent in hot and arid South Central Asia said meetings of communist activists were being held to acquaint them with the program initiated by Nikita Khrushchev, the first secretary of the party. An Italian senator charged yesterday that Italy has become a vast hunting ground for international white slavery gangs, and that Lucky Luciano, the deported U.S. vice boss, is involved in the infamous traffic. Senator Lina Merlin, the only woman member of Italy's Senate, said Italy is the only European country where prostitution is still allowed and even licensed by the government. Thus, Italy has become an easy base of operations where agents of international cartels can engage in the business of selling living flesh. Those some of the day's top news stories as reported in the newspapers of Sunday, March 18th, 1956. On your radio 66 years ago today, Raymond Burr, Fort Laramie, which continues now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox.
If we let you go, Big Elk, you could find your people.
Big Elk, big coup for white man. White man no let Big Elk go.
Well, if you couldn't find your way back, no sense talking to you.
Hey, wait.
Why? You don't know where your people are.
Why you let Big Elk go?
A fair trade. You lead us to the Sioux camp. We'll trade you to your tribe for the white women they have.
No trade.
Your people don't think much of you, do they?
Big Elk hold high honor in tribe. Old Sioux proud, warrior, hunter, leader, Big Elk.
Then why won't they trade?
White man no trade Big Elk for white woman.
That's just where you're wrong. White men go pretty high on their women folk.
Captain, you play trick?
No trick. You have my word.
No trick. Then Big Elk, give word. We'll lead to Sioux camp.
Still put a lot of store in that captain of yours, Harrison? You still think he knows all there is that's right?
Captain Quince knows what he's about. You'll see he does.
Kinda gnaws at your innards, though, don't it? Him plain eating out of that Injun's hand.
You're just trying to rile me, Hook, and I ain't giving you the satisfaction.
Look at him, Harrison. The Injun pokes his head to the right, we move to the right. Same with the left. He'd poke his head straight up, your old Captain Quince. He'd have us climb in the air.
You'd best keep your face shut, Hook. I swear you keep at me, no telling what I'll do.
You'll do like you're told. No more. That captain would tell you to do anything at all. You'd bust yourself doing it. You're gonna grow up licking boots all the way?
I ain't snapping at your bait no more. You can talk all you like, I just ain't listening. I'm just riding along here, and I don't even know no dumb trooper named Hook.
Ain't just me talking, bootlicker. It don't set well with a single white man riding in this column being led around by no Injun. You giving any thought to them white women, Harrison? You ever seen one once the bunch of Injuns got through with her?
Well, we're doing a decent thing, ain't we? We're going after him.
No, we ain't. We're just out riding around, Harrison. Following an Injun wherever he means to take us. Like as not, he's leading us into an ambush right this minute.
I ain't listening to you again, Hook. Ain't hearing a word you say.
I tell you one thing, bootlicker. That's a dead Injun up there. He don't know it yet, but he's just as dead as he can be.
Halt!
Men, we're about an hour from Bear Creek. There's still daylight enough to see us there. We'll bivouac there for the night.
Rider coming this way, sir.
I know, Syberts. I think it's Hazen. With word on the Sioux camp.
Not meaning to make a camp here, are you, Captain?
Oh, we're heading to Bear Creek for the night.
That's more like it. With water there, grass, natural camp. You just a day out of Fort Laramie?
Left the post just at sunup.
Made good time.
Well, Big Elk's picking the trail.
Good job. We're right on the line of the Sioux camp. We'll leave Bear Creek at sunup. You'll make it to Lodgepole Creek by mid-morning.
Fair enough.
You got reinforcements coming?
I'm riding in under a white flag. I plan to trade Big Elk for the white women.
Oh, might work. I got in awful close. Don't even think they got scouts out. Leastwise, I didn't see any.
Any sign of the women?
Not likely there would be. No, Captain, the Sioux were looking awful peaceful. For your sakes, I hope they are.
You sound for me, sir?
Yeah, sit down, Mr. Syberts.
Thank you, sir.
What's the talk among the men?
You know the men, Captain. Just camp talk.
Just camp talk?
That's all, sir.
Well, that's good. I had an idea maybe feeling was running a little high against Big Elk.
Well, it is. You know, the men feeling the way they do about the Sioux capturing the white women, they're taking on with him a little.
What do you mean?
Well, joshing him, making threats, little things. Well, for example, he's half starving, I guess, and thirsty, of course.
So?
Well, they keep putting food and water just out of his reach.
And you stood there and let it happen, Mr. Syberts?
Well, sir...
Just camp talk, Mr. Syberts.
It's more my fault, Captain. You can't blame the men.
I can blame the men, and I can blame you. I gave my word.
Look out! He broke free! Pickett! The engine's loose!
Hold your fire! Don't shoot, any of you! Hold your fire! Watch it, Captain. He's coming your way.
He's free. Watch it, all right.
I go. White man, they try to kill me.
Now, nobody's going to kill you. Now, listen to me. I won't let anyone harm you.
Your word no mean much. White man, no honor.
Quiet! Quiet, all of you! Quiet! Now, listen to me. And understand me. I don't know what's behind all this, but for your sakes, I'm going to put it down to your feeling for the captured white women. All right, quiet! We'll add to that for now. But I'm not forgetting what happened here. Now use your heads. Big Elk's our best chance to get those women out of the Sioux camp safely. Maybe our only chance. I gave him my word there'd be no tricks. The stockade's waiting for the next man who abuses him. Any questions? Harrison?
Yes, sir?
See that there's water and warm food for Big Elk.
Right away, sir.
Now, any of you get any ideas, I'll be waiting for you. That's all. Dismissed. All right, Big Elk.
Captain Quince. I'm sorry, sir. I should have stopped all that.
Any man could have stopped it, Mr. Syberts.
But being an officer and all, I should have.
The Army saw fit to make you an officer, Mr. Syberts. Being a man is entirely up to you.
I just didn't...
That's all, Mr. Syberts.
The conclusion of Fort Laramie, March 18th, 1956, comes up next on this Friday Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox on your favorite station.
Are you in bad pain? You know what I mean. Your knees hurt. Your shoulder hurts. Your elbow and back are constantly killing you. And I'm sure you've tried every pain pill or cream available at the drugstore. Am I right? Well, here's something you haven't tried. Pain Magic. Pain Magic is not available at any drugstore. The only place you can get it is by calling the special toll-free number I'm about to give you. And to make things even better, call right now and find out about our buy one, get one free offer. We're so confident it'll work for you that we offer a free bottle with your purchase. No prescription required. Call now to learn how you can get Pain Magic and get rid of your pain. Remember, your results may vary. 800-492-8164. 800-492-8164. 800-492-8164. That's 800-492-8164.
On Saturday's Classic Radio Theater, The Great Gildersleeve, starring Willard Waterman from 70 years ago, March 19, 1952. Gildersleeve is trying to have as beautiful a garden as Mr. Bullard's, Mr. Bullard played by Gail Gordon, and that's no easy task. The Great Gildersleeve on Saturday's Classic Radio Theater, but now the conclusion of Fort Laramie, March 18, 1956, 66 years ago today.
Now, camp of my people in valley below. Big Elk, keep word.
Big Elk, if I had a home like that, I'd never leave it.
Red men first here. Then white men come. With gun.
Yeah, I know. I'll take the flag, Mr. Syberts. You have your orders?
Yes, sir.
We'll ride in under your cover. There's to be no firing unless there's trouble. If I drop the white flag, that'll be your signal to open fire. Any questions?
No, sir.
Then pass the word. Big Elk and I are riding in.
Good luck, Captain.
You lead, Big Elk. No sign of your scouts yet.
My people expect no trouble.
There'll be no trouble.
Big Elk turned back on white men. Not safe. No trust.
I've kept my word, Big Elk. The rest is up to your chiefs.
No. Big Elk knows fear.
Oh, you're safe with me.
No. No, Big Elk, no trust. He's straight.
You crazy fool! Stop it! Stop! Stupid, murdering swine. Move out! Move out to save your filthy hides!
It was Hook shot him, sir, before anyone could stop him.
He'll rot in the stockade for this. Stand to horse! Stand to horse! Lieutenant Syberts, move the company back immediately.
I know how you feel, Captain, but it's done. The man will be dealt with fully.
Major, it was the coldest kind of murder.
You're lucky you got out of there alive, especially you. Right now, I'm thinking about those white women.
I don't think there's a chance they're alive now. The Sioux will take this out on somebody, and they're handiest.
We can't think about that. We're going after those women this time with every man in our command.
With at least 1,000 Sioux at Lodgepole Creek?
We'll do our best, Captain.
If Gorse had been with me, I'd have seen this since.
Sergeant Gorse was accompanying the first wagon train through.
I know that. It's my own stupidity.
Stupidity? Surely you're not blaming yourself.
For taking Hook on that patrol, you bet I am. I'm long enough in the Army to spot a troublemaker.
You're not thinking straight, Lee. I count on your judgment because it's cool and straight. You're no good to me in this turn of mine.
Major, my guts are crawling now. What do you want?
I want an officer with head enough to command Company B to engage the Sioux.
All right, sir. You got one. I'm all right.
Captain Matheson moved into the post yesterday with C Company. With Meade's infantry and howitzers, we should give you the cover you need.
I'm not used to this much support, Major. Might get lost in that crowd.
Your job is to get those women and get out. After your initial charge, the main fighting's up to C Company and the infantry.
Yes, sir. Get the women, bring them here.
Then you'll stand by as reinforcements for Matheson and Meade.
Right.
Yes?
Major?
Come in.
Captain?
Hazen?
We're gonna need your help, Hazen.
Well, there's a chance you can surprise them. They're on the move.
Which way?
North and to the west. Where's your map?
Right here.
Yeah. This was their main camp at Lodgepole.
Uh-huh.
Now, they moved along the valley where you were, Captain. Along the stream and then up to Horse Creek there. Then branched up to Bear Creek near Iron Mountain right there.
We bivouacked there.
You were a little to the east, but no matter. They moved across the Chugwater along here, see? And followed along the Laramie Range there.
A whole lodgepole camp on the move?
All of them. But this is where I think you can get them. If it's still the Beasley Girls you're after.
They're our first objective.
All right. The warriors, the main force of the tribe, they're well up front, moving ahead. They're not expecting any trouble from the rear. And so that's why they got their squaws and old folks and young'uns.
Yeah, likely the Beasley women are back there with them.
It's a near cinch.
Where are they now, in your judgment?
The natural camp spot's about there, on the Laramie River. Moving slow like they got to along that range, they should make camp there tonight. If it was me, I wouldn't wait for sunup to move in.
He's right, Major.
Can you have B Company ready to move out by dusk?
I can.
Pass the word, Captain. Report back in half an hour. Matheson and Meade will be here. We'll lay out a full plan.
Right, sir. Mr. Syberts?
Right here, Captain.
Men filed out in position?
Yes, sir. As ordered.
Harrison, move up.
Yes, sir.
Harrison, you'll flank me on the charge. We're going to bring those women out, you understand?
I sure do, sir.
Good.
Proud to.
Company!
Company! At the truck! Ho! Captain.
They're running for cover, sir. We stampeded their horses. They gotta take cover.
Meade's infantry. We're covered, sir.
Yeah, Mr. Syberts. Keep at them. Harrison, over here, this way. The lodges, over here.
There's a squaw, Captain.
I'll get her.
No kill squaw.
The white women, where are they?
No white woman. No kill squaw.
Now, where are they?
Lodge. There. All safe. No kill.
This way, Harrison.
Well, sir.
Harrison!
Captain Quince. It's them women. Them Beasley girls. Why, they can't be over 5, 6 years old. Either one of them.
I know. Come on, Harrison. Let's get these women out of here.
Fort Laramie is produced and directed by Norman MacDonald and stars Raymond Burr as Lee Quince, Captain of Cavalry. The script was specially written for Fort Laramie by Kathleen Height, with sound patterns by Bill James and Ray Kemper, musical supervision by Amerigo Marino. Featured in the cast were Jack Moyles, Harry Bartell, Sam Edwards, Lawrence Dobkin, Lou Krugman, James Nusser, and Lillian Bayef.
Company, tension! Dismiss!
March 18th, 1956, Fort Laramie on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Please thank this radio station and support their advertisers. It is their kindness and courtesy that allows us to come to you each and every Friday at this time with the greatest radio shows of all time. Also, remember to visit, if you miss a day on this station, you don't have to miss a show. You can always hear our shows on demand through iHeartRadio, Spotify, Spreaker, TuneIn, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or Amazon by searching Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. You can also hear our shows on demand at my webpage, classicradio.stream, where you can not only stream the shows on demand, you can learn more about building a classic radio collection of our own, and you can contact me there, classicradio.stream. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have a great weekend, and tell all your friends the great radio shows are right here at this spot on the dial. Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox on your favorite radio station.